Hey there, YouTube! My name is Rhyan Reyes. I'm a composer and sound designer for video games and for film. Welcome to my channel, Sector 7 Music. This channel is dedicated to everything video game music and music in general. And I love music and I love video games. And when you marry those two things together, that's when magic happens. That's what my channel is dedicated to in the pursuit of finding work as a composer and sound designer. So today's video is a video that's very special and it's oh so near and dear to my heart. Why? Because not only do I get to talk about video games and music, but I get to talk about one of my all-time favorite band of musicians in existence, and that is the ever so talented industrial group 9 Inch Nails. Many of you guys might not know this, but they have dug its nails deep within the video game industry by creating some of the most unsettling and unhinged textural audio and music out there for the most iconic cult classic games. From id Software's 1996 video game QUAKE all the way up to Naughty Dog's upcoming release, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, the Heretic Prophet. 9 Inch Nails and the members of have made a worthy impact on video game music. Hot off of their groundbreaking album, The Downward Spiral, 9 Inch Nails ventured into new creative territory by composing the unforgettable soundtrack of one of the most iconic games of the 90s, id Software's 1996 masterpiece, QUAKE. Released on June 22nd, 1996, and then again re-released on vinyl 2020, QUAKE's OST was born out of a mutual admiration between the band and id Software's perfect marriage of dark and twisted sense of humor and imagination. Their partnership wasn't just professional, it was personal. Trent Reznor and the developers of id Software bonded over their shared vision, even dining together on occasion. Amongst the attendees was none other than American McGee, the creative mastermind behind American McGee's Alice series, which I'll cover later on in this video. Reznor's introduction to id Software's work came shortly after completing the second full-length album, The Downward Spiral. That's when he discovered the game Doom. As Trent recalled, it came at a very inopportune time. Our keyboard player at the time walked in with the shareware of Doom that halted any sort of work getting done. They put out a game that really catered to my taste. It seemed politically incorrect, and it seemed violent, and it seemed like a game that couldn't have been made by a giant company. It was fun, it was addicting, and it really struck a chord with me. That we don't give a shit attitude, that's one of the things that made it great. QUAKE marked Reznor's first attempt into experimental composition, an endeavor he described as creating textures, ambiances, and whirling machine noises, audio designed to be depressive, scary, and unsettling. The goal was not to craft traditional music, but to enhance the game's atmosphere, ensuring the sound blended seamlessly with the gameplay rather than distracting from it. QUAKE's OST had to sit within the confines of the game and not be traditional music with lyrics or written in a traditional fashion. It is not music, Reznor explained, but it's been fun. The QUAKE soundtrack wasn't just created, it was conjured in an utterly fitting setting, a funeral home. Purchased by Trent Reznor, it transformed into Nothing Studios. Each of the former viewing rooms were repurposed into creative spaces. 2 of them served as control rooms, a big A room and a slightly smaller B room, while another became a live rehearsal space, complete with a small PA system and the band's touring gear. Eerie and unconventional, it was a space that mirrored the dark and ambient of the game itself. American McGee, a frequent visitor, would drop by the New Orleans studio to deliver builds of QUAKE and to hang out with the band. Their collaboration wasn't just limited to the music, it extended into the game itself. You know those iconic 9 Inch Nails branded ammo boxes? Originally, it was a joke, but Reznor loved them so much that it became a permanent Easter egg. Reznor's involvement didn't stop there. He lent his voice to the Ranger character and alongside Twiggy Ramirez, ex-member of Marilyn Manson, performed Foley work for the game itself. Armed with an old DAT machine, the two captured countless takes of grunts and groans for Quake's visceral sound design. Even years later, the Quake soundtrack remains a haunting masterpiece. As Chris Vrenna noted, those Quake beds are some of the most coolest and scariest. When you listen to them now, they still hold up. There's not a lot going on in them. There's not a whole lot happening. They're not excessively layered with stuff. They come in at the right moment and build an ebb and flow. They stay really subtle. I think that's one of the reasons why they hold up so well. They're not so overdone that it becomes a cliche or something else. Its understated brilliance ensures it avoids traps of cliche, standing as a testament to restraint and atmosphere. Quake's soundtrack remains as a testament to the potent synergy of innovation, rebellion, and friendship. Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor and Chris Vrenna, they weren't just pioneers of industrial rock, but they were avid enthusiasts of first-person shooters. According to Chris,
Trent and I were both big gamers back in the day. On our first tour buses, we would bring two old school, at the time they were state-of-the-art, 486 chip PCs. We put one in the front lounge, one in the back lounge, and connect them via a coax LAN and make a LAN network so that we could play death matches against each other. So Trent would talk about this, and that company id saw all that in the press and went, wow. So they asked Nine Inch Nails to score this Quake game in 1995 or 96. It was one of those two.
Between 1989 and 1997, Chris Vrenna served as Nine Inch Nails' drummer, earning a Grammy as part of the band's roster. After departing, he shifted gears, floating between projects and bands before ultimately landing in the realm of video game composition. His contributions to gaming are nothing short of iconic. Co-composer of Doom 3, sole composer for American McGee Alice, and a collaborator on Alice Madness Returns, albeit just one track, and on Quake 4 as producer. Amongst these accomplishments, American McGee Alice stands as perhaps his most celebrated work, blending the twisted visuals with a hauntingly unforgettable soundtrack. The connection between Vrenna and McGee was born out of friendship, and together they forged one of the darkest, most beloved franchises in gaming history. Released in 2000, American McGee Alice unveiled a nightmarish reimagining of Wonderland, with Chris Vrenna crafting a soundtrack that was as eerie and unsettling as the game itself. Yet, this wasn't a typical project for the seasoned drummer and electronic musician. Vrenna faced a unique challenge.
Going along with American's vision, the music also needed to be otherworldly and creepy, but not at all modern sounding.
Synthesizers, drum machines, and samplers were off the table. Instead, Chris leaned into the unconventional approach, collecting an arsenal of peculiar instruments.
Trying to come up with instrumentation that would be, that could be from that time frame, but were also creepy and bizarre and created a mood. So I've collected, I have 6 or 7, 8 toy pianos. I have 2 toy accordions, penny whistles, auto harps, zithers. I have 15 or 16 wind-up musical boxes and toy drums, and then augmented all that with some of the strings and some of the more ambient, just creepy background sounds.
All this to craft a soundscape steeped in the unsettling charm of a bygone era. To further elevate the atmosphere, he used organic sounds to build upon the rhythms. Ticks of clocks, the thuds of doors, the clangs of gongs, and other raw ambient noises became his percussion section.
He wanted rhythms to be built organically, which is something I like to do. And Alice has a lot of cogs and wheels and a lot of wood and doors and puzzles and things of that nature. So I'm building all the rhythms out of clock samples, just grandfather clocks or cuckoo clocks, or just the ticking, or everything, like just timing it so that it's a loop and it creates a bit of a rhythm. And I've been building them out of ratchet sounds and just door thuds and just found sounds, like ambient found sounds, but timing them also, they do create a rhythmical bed. So once again, there's no modern electronic drum sound.
The result was a soundtrack that perfectly encapsulated the whimsical vibe and the macabre feel of Alice, a chilling symphony that remains etched upon the walls of gaming history. The influence of Trent Reznor and the members of Nine Inch Nails echoes far beyond the stage, but resonates through the world of video games. Richard Patrick, once a touring guitarist and featured member of Nine Inch Nails, famously left the group to form his band, FØLLØW. Their iconic track, "Hey Man, Nice Shot," has become a staple in gaming culture, featured in trailers and titles like Guitar Hero and Rock Band. And then recently in 2022, Nine Inch Nails and Richard Patrick reunited on stage in Cleveland, Ohio to perform with each other once again. Nine Inch Nails' presence doesn't stop there though. From Tony Hawk's Pro Skater to FIFA to the pulsating rhythms of Hi-Fi Rush, their music has left a distinctive mark on countless titles. In 2012, Trent Reznor composed the haunting main theme for Call of Duty Black Ops 2, developed by Treyarch and published by Activision, a score that underscored the game's gripping narrative. Fast forward to 2024's Video Game Awards, where it was revealed that Nine Inch Nails is taking on an ambitious new project, collaborating with Naughty Dog to compose the soundtrack for Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, a PlayStation 5 space epic. Naughty Dog, celebrated for Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Uncharted, and The Last of Us, aims to match a soundtrack that's equally transcendent in tone. Neil Druckmann, co-president of Naughty Dog, summed up the collaboration perfectly. Our incredible voyage into the cosmos also needs an equally incredible soundtrack. With Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross at the helm, players can expect a sonic experience that's nothing less than extraordinary. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in and diving into one of my most favorite topics with me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, I love to hear your thoughts, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel and allows me to create more content like this. And hey, if you or someone you know needs killer video game music or amazing sound design, I got you covered. Check out my work over at sector7music.com, where you'll find everything from my portfolio to asset packs perfect for your video game or project. You can also follow me on all social media platforms at Sector7Music. Once again, guys, my name is Ryan, also known as Sector7, and I truly appreciate you guys stopping by. Until next time.